Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to part 2 of our new series going through every single monster type in Yu-Gi-Oh! In alphabetical order. Today we're on number 2, beasts. And you guys, if you haven't seen yet, this series, the whole point of this series is to get to the bottom of what are the best, monster types in Yu-Gi-Oh! Going forward. Basically, the whole idea is if a brand new archetype comes out and you're telling me it's beast type, how good is that? Are you like, oh, there's a lot of really good stuff for just anything without any details about the archetype? You tell me it's beast. I'm like, ooh, there's a lot of good stuff for beasts. And then we're going to, at the very end of the series, we're going to rank all of them after we've done our deep dive into every type and seeing what every type has to offer for new stuff and go from there. So beast is a really interesting one. Let's just jump in here. It falls into a very, very similar category as Aqua, the first video that we made. And so the reason it falls into a very similar category is that similarly to Aqua, Sea Serpent, and Fish, kind of combining to just be water good stuff and share a lot of similar support, Beast falls into a similar category, which we have called for years in the TCG the Tri-Beast, which is beasts, beast warriors, and winged beast. Those three monster types kind of combined together to have formed their own kind of just beast good stuff pile. Now we're gonna look into them all individually, but it means there's going to be some crossover. There are going to be some cards that specifically, and we'll even talk about an archetype that supports all three of them together. But that being said, they all still reap the benefits of it. So that's where we're going to have to start our look. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Let's go here. There we go. All right. So the big thing here for all of the Tri-Beast types is Tri-brigade. It's an archetype that came out a handful of years ago. It had very, very good competitive success, and I still think it kind of sits in as one of those archetypes that really is designed to work with other archetypes, but I think it sits like laying in the wings, waiting for a brand new Tri-Beast archetype to come out where it can thrive yet again. It's not going to be the main part of the deck, but it is a very, very good complementary part to other Tri-Beast archetypes. So I would say the big ones to keep in mind more than anything is honestly there's a new link to is huge. It actually just got revealed. That's why this is in Japanese. Basically, it can be made with any two Tri-Beast, Beast, Beast Warrior, Wing Beast, and on summon, or I don't even know if it's on summon, but it allows you to dump any two Tri-Beast cards, which are Tri-brigade cards from deck or extra deck. So you can dump stuff like Nerval, which searches you another Tri-brigade card. You can dump stuff like Rampant Rampager, Bearbrum, I think is the better name to go off of, which also searches you a follow-up card, and so on and so forth. There's just multiple really good send targets that are just searching you into more engine and just allowing you to keep going. So this is a huge one, in my opinion. On top of that, you have stuff like your new main deck card, your main deck quick play spells that allow you to connect into parts of your Tri-brigade engine. You have these cards are all actually also generic to make, I think, except for Bearbrum. You have this card down here, which I think is Rindworm, I think is the name. It is a branded fusion monster, which allows branded to potentially connect into any Tri-Beast archetype. Yes, does branded come with its own locks? Yes, but if you can summon this card, I think on summon, this card just gives you a dump for a Tri-Beast, which is pretty good for, in general. You're getting into branded stuff and you're getting a dump for any Tri-Beast. There could still be some really good opportunities there for a beast deck that wants stuff dumped to grave, for sure. And the last thing I think I'll highlight is this guy down here, Alpha, the Master of Beasts. Pretty good generic card. He specifically works well with Beast Warrior, and Wing Beast as well. He's kind of in that realm of like Dino Wrestler Pankratops in terms of generic going second cards. He's not out of this world, but like there could be a format. He's a card we've looked at for years as like, this card's got potential. We've just never had it really be fulfilled. It's kind of been outclassed by other cards that are kind of in his kind of range, but he could still have a world where he works and has good synergy with your archetype for sure. Which takes us to our more specific beast stuff. Keep in mind too, we'll show this graphic again as we go forward. We'll show it once we get to Beast Warriors, which I think should be next if we're looking at alphabetical order, and then Wing Beast way later on. We'll just remind you of these as we get to those as well. Next up though, for actual beast stuff, this is the more pure beast stuff. Rescue Cat. You can send it to the graveyard to summon 2 level 3 or lower beasts from deck. Their effects are negated and destroyed on end phase, but you turn one body into 2, and if you're talking about Tri-brigade type stuff, you summon a monster like Kit that can send Nerval. When it's sent to grave, it doesn't matter that they're negated on field. So this is still an okay card. I think the tough part about this card is it sends itself for cost. So you're probably normal summoning it, and then you're sending it for cost. If it gets negated, it's going to be rough. So that's always been the tough part with Rescue Cat. It's a high risk, high reward type card. Still a good card in a vacuum, though, all things being said. Next up, you have Noble Knight's Shield Bearer. You can banish this card from hand or field to add any level 6 or lower Wind Beast monster from deck to hand. Is Wind the most common attribute for beasts? Hell no. Does that mean we just won't have ever a good Wind Beast? Hell no. So I think this card's at least worth mentioning. If something does come out where it is a little wind focused for beasts, this card is just 3 more copies of it, potentially. So cool. It's a searcher. Next up, we have to talk about Melfi's. I didn't want to go all the way in on Melfi's, even though there are a couple cards we'll talk about here. The issue with the Melfi cards is they're a little bit too slow. Most of the good Melfi monsters in the main deck require your opponent to summon a monster or attack one of your monsters for them to even trigger. But when they do trigger, they are good. This card would just return itself to the hand, then summon any level 2 or lower beast from your deck. Pretty generic, just a small beast. So it's good, it's just slow and dependent on your opponent, which just makes it a little bit tougher to work with. Same thing with Caddy. Caddy does the same thing, except it adds the beast to hand instead of summoning it. It's actually just a little bit worse. Could be good, though, in a specific scenario. There is stuff like Hopbeard Squadron you can use with this card, but again, like, just slow. You also have a new, well, this isn't new, but it is a V-Jump promo card, Kitty Tail, Mystical Beast of the Forest. It's a kind of a basic extender. If it's normal or special, it can like give you the ability to send a beast with a different, with the same type as a monster that's in your graveyard. So it's fine. It's not out of this world good, but it's okay. It's cute artwork though. Kalatos is the last main deck monster we're going to look at here. When it's summoned by the effect of a beast, target card on the field, destroy it. Not out of this world. Honestly, pretty low quality card for modern day standards. But when Melfi came out, they abused this card. It's not crazy, but it's not once per turn. And if you can just keep looping it with Melfi cards, you just get to keep popping stuff. So it's actually not too bad at the end of the day. All right, into the spells. Obedient Schooled is a big, big, big one. We didn't really have any monsters that I felt were super big. I mean, the Tri-brigade stuff's pretty nice, but from the ones we just went through that are specifically beast-tailored, this is one of the huge ones. Now, this card does lock you, right? For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except beasts. So you are hard beast locked on this card after you use it. But if you control no monsters, you can summon 3 level 2 or lower effect monsters with different names from your deck, but their effects are negated and they're destroyed during the end phase. I do not care. 3 bodies without your normal summon? This card's insane. Yeah, this card's absolutely out of this world good, especially if a new deck comes out that has multiple cards level 2 or lower that they want to mess with. This card is maybe the single most important card that beasts have on their own outside of the Tri-brigade stuff going into the future. Ayers Rock Sunrise is basically Monster Reborn for beasts. Nobody plays Monster Reborn, so I don't think this card's that important, but it's there. Uku no Mitsune no Onari. This card's interesting. It does require 2 light monsters, including a beast. So again, kind of in the same vein as the Noble Knight's Shield Bearer. Is beast the most common attribute for beasts? Hell no. Will they make a good one at some point? Hell yeah, probably. I mean, we're looking at it. We're like in the last couple of months, we've gotten Yummy, which is like the best beast archetype we've ever seen. Yeah, it's good. This card on summon, is it on summon? Yeah, it allows you to add a quick play spell from your grave and set it. I mean, it's just so free, right? You use any good quick play spell on your turn 1, you can just make this if your deck just plays light beasts, and you just get to reset it for free. Now you have that quick play spell ready to fire on the opponent's turn. It's cool. It's pretty good. Yeah. Into some Exceeds, you have the Ronin Raccoon. This card's not that good. It just summons a token, and then it has some battle shenanigans. It's not that good, but There's not a ton of beast stuff. So we got to point out the ones that have any use. Joyous Melfi is actually a somewhat impressive card. It does require 2 level 2 beasts, so very similar to Totally Awesome in that it is just a direct level 2 type locked monster, Exceed monster. But it's pretty good. During the opponent's turn as a quick effect, you can target a beast Exceed you control. That includes this card. Return that monster to the extra deck, then you can special summon level 2 or lower beast monsters from your grave up to the number of materials this card had. So basically, like, return this card to the extra deck to summon 2 level 2 or lower beasts from grave as a quick effect. That's actually pretty cool. That actually could do some pretty good, damage to the opponent, depending on what you're reborning. So that's a pretty good card overall. I want to point out Yummy here. This card itself is not as important as just mentioning a Yummy in general. For example, if just a new beast archetype came out that was like either synchro based or link based, like Yummy is just a good deck at putting bodies on field. They're pretty free. They're super resource efficient. They play around a ton of stuff. This is going to be one of the best decks in the game going forward. We're at a point where Justice Hunters is just now getting printed in the TCG. This deck's crazy. And it doesn't really have brutal locks to it at all, like too much, especially in a way where, like, if you don't play the full engine, you can even play around some of those locks even harder and just play a good deck that puts beast bodies on the field. Just something to mention. It's also all light, so it works really well with the new Link Onari. So very cool. Something else to mention, Chimera. I don't expect Chimera to be like that crazy with this deck or beasts in general going forward, but you have to at least mention that there are multiple cards in the Chimera archetype that have effects in grave, specifically their fusions, where like this one, as a quick effect on the opponent's turn, can banish itself from grave to just reborn a beast monster. It's not that much synergy. It's not that crazy. This card also requires 1 beast and 1 fiend to make, so also a little bit of synergy there, but I just figured I'd mention it while we're here. That's the final card, at the end of this journey of looking through the beast cards that are available to us. I would have to say beasts probably are a little higher than Aqua. They have that similar vibe of they share cards that work for them that with a couple of other monster types. I think these ones are a little better, and as you kind of saw as we went through it, also has a couple of more tools for themselves. Strict beast stuff between Obedient Schooled, the Yummy archetype, some of those extra deck monsters. There are some solid, tools here overall that this deck's going to get to use, or any new beast archetype that comes out is going to get to use. Is this one great? No. This will be somewhere in the mid tiers, I feel like, but it has some pieces. Tri-Brigade's the biggest one, but there's also a couple other ones mixed in there as well, specific to beasts. So I give it the nod of approval overall. It's not terrible. You tell me a beast archetype's coming out tomorrow, but no details, I'd be like, okay, we'll keep an eye on Obedient School. Let's see how it works with Tri-Brigade. There could be some big potential there, of course. So not knocking it, but not also just totally glazing it. So it's somewhere in the middle. But yeah, that's Beast. Number 2, down. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below on Beast. Do you think I missed anything? Do you think there's anything, that's worth mentioning in terms of Beast, in terms of going forward with the cards they currently have? Love to hear your guys' thoughts on that going forward. But I'm out of here. I'll see you in the next video. Number 3 coming up next. Peace.